Alabama gets set to take on Auburn in the Iron Bowl. We're talking to you from the very world famous Flora-Bama. Let's get this show started, everybody, and roll time.
The original Bama football tailgate show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker and CoverCrimson.com host Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented by Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play! Featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. Also brought to you by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Luxury with a national championship service department. Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. The Flora-Bama World Famous Beach Bar and Lounge in Orange Beach. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code Bama Tailgate for amazing deals at NewLifeArt.com.
And also brought to you by Visit Tuscaloosa, where tradition meets adventure. Alabama personal injury lawyer Steve Mesrano. Mesrano wins, we got you.
Now the host of the original Bama Tailgate Show, here's Mick Gillispie.
All right, roll tide, everybody. This is the Bama Tailgate Show. We're presented by Pearl River Resort. For the next 2 hours, we're going to talk number 10 Alabama at Auburn, 6:30 Jordan-Hare Stadium. We got a great show for you today. Chris Lowe from On 3 is going to be here. Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN The Zone up in North Alabama. Frank Carl, the Cook Lewis. Steve Powers from the Flora-Bama is going to be in the house. We've got a lot of other people that we're going to talk to about this big matchup, but it is a pleasure to talk to you guys today. And for everyone hanging out here at the Flora-Bama, thank you. I know there's not just Bama fans here today, but a lot of SEC football fans. So salute to all of you guys, and thank you, and happy game day. This is the Bama Tailgate Show. It's brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Short drive from Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, Vegas-style sportsbook at the Golden Moon Casino. I'm Mick Gillispie with Mike Johnson in for Jake Coker from Perdido Key. As we're at right now, you're home, man. Good to see you. Roll Tide, brother.
Obviously, happy to be here. Appreciate everybody coming out. You said there's fans from all the SEC teams. I don't see any Auburn fans. It's weird. One. I haven't seen maybe one Auburn fan out there today.
Yeah, there's hey.
Oh, there's the one. Yeah, no, it's awesome to be here. Obviously, like you said, man, from down the street in town for Thanksgiving. So appreciate you having me, man. I hate that Jake couldn't make it. I know I'm not a quarterback, but I'm happy to be here nonetheless.
Yeah, look, man. I mean, you were on the 2009 national championship team that went down to Auburn and won that game. The catch at the end of the game to win that one. You won a national championship, two-time All-American, and then for any Atlanta Falcons fans, you guys would recognize Mike from the pre and post game there, and then you do a radio show in Atlanta every morning, which is crazy because I hate getting up early.
I know. I hate it too. I'm not quite a morning person, but you're right. And Bama's been a little bit more fun to follow this year than the Falcons have.
Yeah.
So that's been good. At least I always have that in my back pocket to fall back on. But yeah, man, happy to be here. And you're right, Atlanta every single morning on that swing of the game. But this one's home for me. Bama Tailgate Show.
Well, you started here. And look, 9-2 Bama, number 10 in the country. You know, you work in Atlanta, and you're part of the sadness every time Georgia plays Alabama, and they question why they lost again. So hopefully we'll see them.
Get me in trouble.
We'll see them next week, so we can give it to them again. Auburn's 5-6. You know, I remember the days before you got to school. Maybe you were like at the very beginning of your football career. We're 5-6. You have a good team, but you just didn't figure out a way to win. I feel like Auburn's kind of in that boat right now. They're a good 5-6 team that could beat Alabama if Bama doesn't play their best team.
There's no doubt. And I think the location has everything to do with it. going down to Jordan-Hare Stadium, we've seen crazy things happen. Everybody knows the mojo that Auburn seems to play with at times down there. You remember the kick six. You remember some of the craziness. I feel like we flipped that around a couple of years ago with the Grave Digger play, the 4th and 31. So
I love that play.
Maybe the mojo is swinging back in Ben's direction in terms of the matchups and the ones we see every single year. But we all know that anything can happen in these games. We're going to watch them all day today, the rivalry games with the Texas A&M, Texas, with Georgia Tech. Obviously, with everything else going on, anything can happen in these rivalry weekends. And the bottom line is this: with the 4 teams still eligible to play in Atlanta next week, you mentioned it, one of those teams is going to lose today. Now, maybe it's Georgia, and it doesn't matter in terms of the SEC race if they lose to Georgia Tech. But the odds are that one of those 4 teams are going to lose today and tomorrow. I'm sorry, and hopefully that's not Alabama.
Yeah, look, the bottom line is this. First off, I love the Flora-Bama. Okay, I'm just going to say that now for everyone that's hanging out. I mean, look, no matter what happens in football, it's great to be back here. The last show that you and I did here was when Bama played in 2016. Jalen Hurts was the quarterback. We'll talk about that show a little bit later, but it's awesome to be back. And then Bama coming off of a 56-0 win over Eastern Illinois. I didn't even know Eastern Illinois had a football team. But everybody was like, what about Tony Romo? I'm like, okay, can you get anything from that win going into this game?
I think you can take away whatever you want to from that game. You can take away negatives as well. You look at Ty Simpson's stat line over the last few weeks. It's like 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions against Eastern Illinois. So
whatever you want to from those games. I don't know what to take from it. I'm hoping that the running game is back on track and that Bama's ground game actually is going to matter with Jam Miller and everybody else associated with that offensive line. But I don't think there's anything that you can go, oh, well, that's definitely going to work against Auburn. They're a talented football team, talented defense. And, it's going to be a tough task. Caden Proctor said it just a few days ago. It's going to be a tough task to block those guys up front.
Yeah, no doubt about that either. Bama's still at number 10. It's going to take a win in this football game to get them there. They can't lose to Auburn and get into the college football playoff.
No, can't happen. It's unfortunate, too, because strength of record, strength of wins should definitely matter. But we've already seen the college football playoff kind of show their hand in terms of Notre Dame and ranking them ahead of you. So, that they're just they're chomping at the bit to leave Bama out again. There's no doubt about it. And so you can't give them the opportunity. The question will be, will what happened in Atlanta matter if you're able to get there and face off in that game? But, that's neither here nor there. You got to deal with business tonight down in the Iron Bowl in the Plains.
All right, look, this is the Bama Tailgate Show. It's on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Make sure that you like and subscribe and that you're a part of what we do on a daily basis. Mike and I get together every Monday for a podcast. We have Chris Lowe on there, Jay Coker and I, Big Shanks on there. We're going to have Ryan Anderson here for the show as well, former Bama edge rusher and a regular friend of the show. He's going to be on here as well later on. And for those of you that are listening, I don't know where you're at in the state of Alabama, but we were number 1, and we like it up there on our flagship station, 106.9 in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. So roll tide to them. Our local affiliate is Fox Sports in Pensacola. And no matter where you're at in the state, you should be able to find the show on radio on game day. Show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Mention that. Don't forget about New Life Art. Now, it's the Christmas season is here, and you want to get the Bama fan in your life something special. Yeah, I know.
Bring my gift? You're supposed to have me a statue, a Kenyon Drake statue. We're still dealing with this. Okay, after all these years. 9 years later, we're still talking about it.
They have cool statues and prints. Mike was actually on one and signed it. It's in my studio. Use our code Bama Tailgate at newlifeart.com for a discount at checkout. All right, look, when we come back, we're going to talk Bama and Auburn and the SEC, all that from the Flora-Bama. So roll tide. We'll be right back.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll!
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll!
Why walk when you can fly? Tap into your inner eagle. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Touchdown flavor, Gulf Coast style. Whether you're here for the big game or just hungry for a win, Flora-Bama Old River Grill has you covered. Catch every pass, every play, and every moment on our wall of big screens while you enjoy fresh Gulf seafood, legendary burgers, and ice-cold drinks. With waterfront views and game day energy like no other, this is where football meets paradise. Grab your crew, bring your team spirit, and make Flora-Bama Old River Grill your home field advantage this season, where the food, drinks, and football are always a win. Located across from the world famous Flora-Bama or online at FlorabamaOldRiverGrill.com.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause Mills wins. Get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mesrano.
Rock you don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at PearlRiverResort.com.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
Roll Tide and welcome back to the Bama Tailgate Show, coming at you from the Flora-Bama here in Perdido Key, right on the line of Alabama and Florida, and honestly one of the best places on earth, right? I've spent many Thanksgivings and Christmases here, but also been here to celebrate the life of the late, great Wayne Mills, one of my buddies from college, and listen to concerts like Kenny Chesney out on the beach. They've got runs and the mullet toss and all of that stuff. So it really is fantastic when we come down here and do the show.
Yeah, I watched the news highlights of the Kenny Chesney concert. I was in training camp with the Atlanta Falcons. I just got done with like the longest 2-a-day of my life, and I'm walking in and getting my smoothie before I go to bed. And Kenny Chesney, like all my friends are sending me pictures. They're sunburned. You know, they spent a great August day out on the beach, and I'm like, oh, that must be nice. I'm in training camp. Yeah, this is really cool. Probably lost 12 pounds a day from sweat. But you guys had a great time down here.
Yeah, Coker said he was on the Bama team, and he thought about maybe slipping down here, but he didn't want to have the wrath of Saban. He got spotted.
Would not have recommended that for Jake, especially a quarterback. No, you're not going to slip in and out of that one unnoticed.
No. You know, Black Belt Outdoor is in the heart of the Black Belt region of Alabama, and since then they've expanded their great coverage of billboards across 13 counties. You'll see our show posted on those billboards across central Alabama. Our friend Bradley takes care of us. He'll take care of you as well with both static and digital billboards to meet the need of their advertisers, and we appreciate them. And as you guys watch on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and thank you for being here as we talk about Alabama and Auburn. Really talk about Alabama. There's been a lot of speculation about coaching decisions, coaching moves, where things could end up, who's going where. And Cruz, Oxenrider, who's on our channel, and I did a podcast, he's very connected at Alabama, and he said that what he understands is that maybe Coach DeBoer's family hasn't been exactly comfortable in Tuscaloosa. Maybe they don't like it. You know that Jamarcus Shepard just took a job, his wide receivers coach, to go coach OSU out in Oregon. What do you think? I mean, 2 years in, I feel like he's done nothing but kind of climb over the last 2 years, but it'd be tough to replace a legend like Nick Saban.
Well, yeah, and I think that a lot of that, the way you feel about it, is probably going to change after tonight either way, right? I think there's some people that are like, yeah, if DeBoer left, we'd get somebody. We'd find somebody. Yeah, right. And then you beat Auburn and you're on your way to the college football playoff, and it's like, oh, no, man, they can't poach
He's our guy.
He's our guy. They can't poach somebody like that from us. And then again, if you were to lose against Auburn, it's like, oh, you know what, man, have a good one. We'll see you later. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily believe any of it. I think when you look at the back and forth that really goes around this time of year, the puppet strings being pulled by Jimmy Sexton and other super agents are a lot of that is angling to get new contracts. You've already seen new contracts from so many of these coaches throughout the country. And that's what it usually boils down to me. But you just never know until you know. And,
right.
And obviously a lot's left to be played out in that area as well. Talk
Talk about when you were at Alabama and Coach Shula was there, and then, you know, they tell you that he's going to get fired, and then you end up working, you know, obviously playing under Coach Saban. What was from a player's perspective, what was that like?
You know what's strange about that is I think that my thought process about that entire week, because in my memory, and this could be wrong because it's a long time ago, in my memory, we played Auburn and took a week off. We played the week before Thanksgiving, if my memory serves me correctly. Right. I think I got back from Thanksgiving and pulled into town that Sunday, and they kind of announced that, you know, maybe Mike Shula got fired that night / that next morning. And I heard that next Monday morning after Thanksgiving, kind of on my way to class or waking up from class right there at Rose Towers, where we used to live.
I used to live there too.
Rose Towers. So, yeah, I mean, frustrating to say the least. And Joe Kynes was the interim coach. We're in bowl practice, and, you know, the whole Rich Rodriguez thing happened Rich Rodriguez reportedly turned down the job. We had those old, you know, rear tube screens in the locker room at the time, and they're playing the Sports Center highlights of saying Rich Rodriguez turned down the Alabama job. And
Michigan got him.
Yeah, Joe Kynes walked in and he turned off the TVs, like I said, rear tube TVs in the locker room still 20 years ago, and said that guy just made the worst mistake of his life. I promise you, you're all going to get a good coach in here. And probably another month goes by before, you know, Nick Saban's introduced right there in the middle of January. But all the highlights I saw when Nick was hired was him making the defensive tackle from the Dolphins cry during training camp. I don't know if you remember that. Like they're playing, they're like, Nick Saban made this guy cry. And I'm like, if he's making defensive tackles in the NFL cry, what is he going to do to me when he gets here? And no tears were shed, but he was a pretty good coach.
Yeah. Did your parents ever have a talk with him?
Are you
Hey, look, whatever it takes to have success out there, right?
Are you trying to pull me in on this conversation about my mom going into Nick Saban's
last
office?
Last time I was here, your dad bailed me out of a very sticky situation, and your cousin Chris, right?
Well, look, man, this is the first time I've ever been asked to tell the story where my mom was actually in attendance. And so, yeah, I mean, she called Nick Saban and was like, I would like to meet. And he thought I was transferring. And I didn't even know this was happening. And she called me. I think it was from the parking lot outside the football complex, and was like, hey, I drove up here 4 hours, and I just wanted you to know I'm meeting with Coach Saban. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. That's the worst idea I've ever heard. And yet he talked to me later that day. He said, look, man, we've all got moms. It's all good. I'm just glad you're not transferring. And that was a crazy time in life, though.
The funny thing is that Coker's mom went up and met with Jimbo.
Oh my God,
Florida State. So I think that this kind of thing happens. But look, it turned out great for you.
Yeah,
you end up being part of the resurgence of Alabama football. You end a long losing streak to Auburn in 2008. And Alabama has a very long winning streak against Auburn going into this game. So I guess my question to you next is, how big of a game is this for the future of Alabama?
You're better off to answer this question than me. What are you talking about? Like, you've been around this, and obviously I got brought into the Alabama program by way of recruiting and by way of Mike Shula. You went there way before I was there. You have a better understanding of these kind of moments, right? You went through the downtrodden years of the Mikes and, you know, the other coaches that were there before Mike Shula. So you tell me. I mean, it seems massive from where we sit, but, you know, the sun will always rise on another season, and you'll always be Alabama. They'll always be Auburn. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it.
I think that stability is underrated, right? And it's like you got to have a stable environment in the program, even if things don't go well. Like if I think Auburn made a mistake firing Hugh Freeze. He's a good football coach. It didn't come together yet, but I felt like they were getting better and better, right? Like they were really close to having a good team. Alabama went through this stretch where they were on probation, so they didn't have the scholarships. You know, obviously it's a different world now, but I feel like Kalen DeBoer has been a good football coach for us. I feel like he's done the things that he needs to do in this world. The kids like playing for him. He's accepted all of you guys back as alumni.
Yeah.
He's bridged that gap with Coach Saban. And I know some people aren't going to like me saying this, but the Oklahoma loss didn't bother me that much. It's a football game. You're playing a really tough schedule. You didn't play your best game, but I thought the effort was good. The Florida State game, on the other hand, was I hated it because I just didn't feel like the effort was there. But you know what? They came back and figured it out. Like he listens and he connects with people. I'd hate to lose him.
Yeah, I think the toughest thing for people to understand is I don't know how many. There's not another Nick Saban, but how many style of coaches are out there that are still like that? Right. You know what I mean? The kind of hard-nosed, hard-love kind of guys that are going to hold everybody in line. I don't know that can exist nowadays in the NIL era. I don't necessarily think you can hold the accountability levels that you used to when Nick Saban took that job and, you know, kicking this guy off the team and suspending that guy and you know, all this other stuff that's going on. I just don't know that exists. So Kalen DeBoer was always going to have to do it a different way, and you were bound to have some bumps and bruises kind of along the way. And I think that Florida State was one of those. I've told you a dozen times, this used to be a coach-led program. It is now a player-led program. Yeah. And when players are in charge, you're going to have your ups and downs. And thankfully, the NIL era also comes at the same time the college football playoff does. And you still have a door open, even though you lose to a team like Oklahoma just a couple of weeks ago.
Right. No doubt about it. I agree with everything that you're saying. Now, Jam Miller was Alabama's star running back, got hurt, came back, was excellent, and then had the concussion. And hasn't been the same since the injury. And I'm going to take this from my former colleague, Clint Lamb, who posted this. Before the concussion against Missouri, 58 carries, 268 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, a touchdown, 8 receptions, 52 yards, averaging 6.5 per catch. And then he had 106.3 total yards per game. Since the concussion against Missouri, 39 carries, 81 yards, 2.1 per carry. 1 touchdown, 8 receptions, 44 yards, 5.5 per reception, and then 31 1/3 yards per game. That worries me.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I think that, look, I was at the Vanderbilt game, got a chance to sit in the end zone. And I remember watching Jam Miller kind of cut inside, outside of blocks. He's so good at setting up the blockers, right? You kind of dip your head outside. You wait to step up a lineman with a kick out block. You jump inside of him. The problem is I don't know that he has had the lateral quickness throughout the season that it kind of takes to get in and out of those holes that he's creating for himself. So that's been an issue. I don't know really, for the first time in a long time, I don't look at this team and think we necessarily have a complete back on the team. You know, you had so many of them in a row where you just knew the lateral quickness, the burst, the acceleration, the power, all those things were going to be there. And I don't necessarily feel like you have that guy right now. I think they all have to be kind of situational players, which is fine. Other programs have had success in doing things like that, but I don't think it was an issue with Jam Miller until Ty Simpson started going down. And then you kind of get the, that ain't good. Yeah, Ty Simpson, all of a sudden, 1 interception here, 2 interceptions there, and then all of a sudden Jam Miller in this running game kind of come back into focus. But the worry for me is that Ryan Grubb really hasn't had much success, nor has Kalen DeBoer in running the football. Even with a Joe Moore award-winning offensive line 3 years ago at Washington, right? They didn't have a great running game, and he didn't have one in Seattle with the Seahawks either. So we'll see. I don't necessarily think it's a personnel thing as much as sometimes I think it's an X's and O's. It's a timing. It's a coaching point. We'll see what happens.
All right, Michael, welcome back to the show. And I've been promising you this on our podcast. We got some swag for you, a couple tailgate show hats, but this is the thing that I think you're really going to love. I mean, if you're going to do the tailgate show from the Flora-Bama, you got to have a Hawaiian shirt. So I know how much you love your Hawaiian shirts. There you go.
I'm going to try not to trash talk this because you actually wear this and think you're stylish. But check that out, man.
That looks fantastic. Thank you.
If there was ever a shirt that looks like you're live from the Flora-Bama on a Friday after Thanksgiving, that's the one, man.
All right. Well, let's talk to you guys after the break. We got a guest joining us. I want to remind you guys that this is the Bama Tailgate Show, and we're brought to you by Yuengling Lager. You can get Yuengling right here at the Flora-Bama. Yuengling is a 6th-generation company that is really proud to be made in America. And our friend Cheryl Yuengling, who's part of the company's ownership, is a proud Alabama grad, even though the company's from Pottsville, Pennsylvania. She came all the way down to Tuscaloosa. She was actually at the show when we played Oklahoma. She's a proud Alabama grad, obviously. And she puts a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles.
Love it, man.
Also,
Love
try
Cheryl.
Yingling Flight. We got Yingling Flight keychains if anybody wants one. So check it out. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk more Alabama and Auburn right here on the Bama Tailgate Show.
Well, howdy, fans, and welcome to Week 14 of Leonard's Losers. The LSPM, that's the little smart pill machine, was smoking last week at 26-7. LSU versus Oklahoma. The Tigers come storming to Norman after a near-disastrous night in Death Valley last Saturday night. The Felines were a 21-point favorite over Western Kentucky and squeaked by in a 13-10 win, while the Sooners snuck by Missouri 17-6. The Sooner Schooner needs to emerge unscathed, and there will be a CFP berth in the mail. Leonard's loser, LSU. Penn State versus Rutgers. The Nittany Lions decimated Nebraska last week 37-10, while the Scarlet Knights were trounced by a Buckeye 42-9. Both have identical 5-6, 2-6 conference records, and a W here will give the victor that bowl qualifying sixth win. Leonard's loser, Rutgers. Florida State versus Florida. Neither team has the season they had hoped for. Osceola had visions of sugar plums dancing in his head as the Noles defeated Alabama 31-17 in Week 1. The season went south from there, and Norville's Noles need a win to become bowl eligible. Things are much worse in the swamp, with the Gators coming in at 3-8, no head coach, and blowout losses to Kentucky and Tennessee. The Gator chomp has lockjaw, and Osceola has honed his spearhead. Leonard's loser, Florida. North Carolina versus North Carolina State. The intensity of this rivalry is driven by the similar sizes, large number of alumni living in the area, and they are only 25 miles apart. Heel head mentor Bill Belichick doesn't need to be checking the mail for a bowl invitation at 4-7, while the pack comes in at 6-5 with their fingers crossed. Pride and state bragging rights are about all that's on the line in Raleigh Saturday night. Leonard's loser, North Carolina. SMU versus California. The Bears are coming off their worst game of the season, a 31-10 drubbing by Stanford, including 3 fumbles, 2 of which led to TDs, and 13 penalties. The Ponies may have the more highly motivated team since they have a chance to land a spot in the ACC title game. The Bears are already bowl eligible at 6-5, but a win might lead to greener pastures. Leonard's loser, California. Alabama versus Auburn. This playoff scenario is easy to figure out. Even Leonard can understand it. If the tide is high and rolls over the Tigers, the Red Efflets are in the SEC championship game in Atlanta and most likely a playoff spot. If the War Eagles win, that would put them at 6-6 and a possible bowl bid. This one is recommended viewing starting at 7:30 on ABC. Leonard's loser, Auburn. Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. The Nashville Yacht Club sets sail on I-40 East, looking to dock on the banks of the Tennessee River at Neyland Stadium. This in-state slobber knocker should provide plenty of fireworks provided by Door quarterback Diego Pavia and Vol signal caller Joey Aguilar. The West End Navy looks to improve their record to 10-2, while the home team is hoping to finish the regular season at 9-3. The Doors destroyed the Lexington Wildcats last Saturday, while the Tennessee Long Riflemen drained the swamp. This gym kicks off at 3:30 and can be seen on ESPN. Leonard's loser in a shootout, Tennessee.
All right, back out at the Flora-Bama. Great to talk to all of you guys on the Bama Tailgate Show or wherever you might be hanging out with us today as Alabama and Auburn play. And it's the Iron Bowl, and this one is to get Bama into the college football playoff, or for Auburn, it's to obviously spoil Alabama's season. Want to introduce Kevin Ritchie. I know we got Richie Giuliano behind the scenes, so we got 2 Richies on with us now. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me.
Part of Mesrano Law Firm, and Steven's been on with us a bunch this season, but so have you. I want to tell you guys about our friend Steven Mesrano, top 10 best of the best attorneys 2024. He's the national top 100 trial lawyers list. He's on the 25 motor vehicle trial lawyers list. He's one of the top 10 trucking trial lawyers, and he's a great football fan. And Kevin, good to see you too. As we team up on a daily basis. So this is Mike Johnson. I'm Mick Gillispie. It's the Bama Tailgate Show from the Flora-Bama, or wherever you might be listening on radio right now. All right, let's talk Iron Bowl. I know you got some great Iron Bowl memories, Mike. I've got some. Kevin, I'm going to start with you. Your best, most favorite Iron Bowl memory. I would say as a player and a fan, but that counts for you. For me and him, it's just as a fan.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the next snap I take at Alabama, the first snap I take at Alabama.
Breaking news.
Truthfully, the most current one has got to be the coffin corner catch. I mean, that was just, because before that play, you're thinking we're dead. We're about to lose this game, and then Bond catches in a corner. It was electrifying. That to me, in the most recent one, that's the one that sticks out the most.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I loved it.
I'm curious what your biggest memory is from the Iron Bowl, dude. You, like I said, you date back way further than I do with some of this stuff.
Well, what I want to say about that particular play is that on the YouTube channel, I was doing a show with Catfish, our friend Catfish, Chad Anderson.
Yeah.
And my TV was ahead of his.
Oh, no.
And so we were doing the post-game show. So what I did was I just put him live and didn't tell him after I knew that Alabama won the game. And so he's on there and he said a lot of things that were, he said some words that were, maybe not appropriate for our audience right here. And I got a few complaints, but then over the course of time, I got a lot more subscribers. And most people were like, I was saying the same thing.
Yeah,
that's terrific.
So that one was fantastic. I was at the first time Alabama ever beat Auburn in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Sean Alexander, Kendall Moorhead had the sack, the safety in the end zone. Bama finally won down there. But then I was also at the game where Brody Croyle got sacked 12 times. So I've been on some good ones and some bad ones.
I have bad memories of that game. I was actually redshirted. I didn't make the travel squad that year. That's 2005. I was redshirted. Didn't make the travel squad, and I was like, you know what, man? I want to go to the game anyways. I'm just gonna go, like, as a fan. And I sat in the crowd and I sat around some Bama fans. Like, hey, don't you play ball? I was like, yeah, I play. I play offensive tackle at Alabama. And they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I just, not good enough yet to make travel squad, but hopefully I'll be there. I'm just redshirt. And the more the game goes on and the more he gets sacked and the more he gets sacked, the more people around me are looking at me like, dude, you must suck. Like, you
can't help this.
You
team.
must be really bad if you didn't even make the travel squad. And this is the group of guys they decided to throw on the field today. You must be terrible.
Now, wasn't that the same year they went to Georgia and he got hurt? Didn't he hurt his shoulder at Georgia that year? Was that the same year or was that the next year?
No. They didn't play at Georgia in 2005. I'm trying to think.
I happened to be at that game with my brother-in-law. I was a Georgia fan. That was miserable.
Yeah.
Well, the best. Well, let's talk about our best memories. And I went to a ton of these Iron Bowls over the years, but what is the best one that I've ever in person? I don't know. I'm going to ask you, Mike.
Obviously, two different memories because, in my 4 years of actually playing in the game, the first 2 years we lost. One Mike Shula's year, one Nick Saban's first season in 2007. I do remember 2008. This is kind of a small memory, but Bama fans will love this. I'm in the locker room. This is probably my first year of actually having a camera phone where you could actually accept photos. And somebody sent me a photo of Tommy Tuberville outside the locker room on the other end of the stadium, and he's holding up 7 fingers. He's holding up 7 fingers, walking in. He's getting Auburn fans all rowdy. And we were good that year, finally, in 2008. And we beat them bad enough to where Tommy actually got fired after that game.
Right. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, how dare you walk in here with this bad football team holding up all these fingers? And we went out and whooped them pretty good. I don't know.
38, wasn't it 20, 36?
35, 36-0. Yeah, great football game. Glenn Coffey had a couple of touchdowns. Greg McElroy actually hit one of the first touchdowns of his career in that game after they pulled John Parker out. And that was a great one. And then obviously 2009 when Roy Upchurch scored, and you mentioned that earlier, that was insane. It was just, you go through all the emotions in that game. That one is just another example of how crazy things can happen down there against Auburn, especially when they're not very good and you are a good football team. So craziness happens.
Well, I mean, I think everybody knew once Saban got in and established it was going to be a game changer, and that obviously history has played that to be the case. So now it's time for DeBoer to start making some history.
Yeah, well, he took care of business last year, and I think that was, obviously one of the big parts of his first season was beating Auburn. Bama ran the ball really effectively in that game. To win this one, they're obviously going to have to do something different. The running hasn't been there, but the question that I have for you guys is, do you believe in Auburn Jesus?
I do.
You guys struggled there in 09.
No, there's no
way
doubt.
better than them too,
dude. And even if you didn't believe it before then, how about the back-to-back games where they beat when they won the national title in 13? That was the kick 6 year, but 2 weeks before that, they're playing Georgia.
Yeah,
and the ball bounces off the guy's hand in the secondary to win the game right there at the end. Nick Marshall throws the Hail Mary, and it bounces off a guy's fingers. He catches it in stride and wins the football game. So even if you didn't believe in it before then, you should have.
Well, if it wasn't for the kick 6, you wouldn't remember it. I mean, it would be that play was
100%.
But the Georgia game was nuts.
Yeah.
That's insane. You might have been talking about 3 straight national titles for Bama.
Man.
And a complete flip-flop of everything that happened just in that 10 seconds.
Since 2019, we've had 7 different coaching matchups. Malzahn versus Saban, Malzahn versus Sarkisian in 2020. Remember, Nick Saban had COVID, right? 2021, Harsin versus Saban. 2022, Cadillac versus Saban. 2023, Freeze versus Saban. 2024, Freeze versus DeBoer. 2025, our matchup this year with DJ Durkin versus DeBoer. That's pretty crazy to think about.
It is. I don't know how to feel about Durkin being the head coach today.
I mean, I think they'll play. Look, there's going to be an emotional jolt going through the Auburn sideline. There's no doubt. I mean, I think it's going to be a tough game. I don't think there's there's nothing easy about playing Jordan-Hare ever, especially at night.
Yeah.
That being said, I did a little research. Unless I'm wrong, this would be the first time in history, if Alabama doesn't win this game, that we've lost when an interim coach is in place.
Right. The better team normally wins,
it does.
too. I mean, really, there could be close games, and that's how football normally is. The better team normally wins.
Man,
Alabama hammers them in Tuscaloosa and then squeaks them out at Jordan-Hare. What makes Jordan-Hare so difficult?
The only one I can think that would break that cycle is I really don't believe they were better than us in 2017. When you end up winning a national title, but remember they had Kerryon Johnson. That team went to the SEC championship against Georgia. But you're right. I mean, as hard as of a pill as that might be to swallow at times, the 2 times that they beat you in 2010 and 2013, it's not like you can look at them and think that was a bad football team. Both those teams went to national title games, right? And so you can kind of fall back on that. But I don't know, man. I just think that you're right. I think the interim coach thing, it can be a good jolt sometimes when it happens, the interim coach bump, but also they have not played as good defensively since DJ Durkin, the DC, has been the head coach.
Well, I mean, let's face it. I mean, you don't fire your coach if you're having a good season.
Right.
True.
I mean,
yeah.
So the trend makes sense. How it articulates into a game is, because I think, to me, when you're juiced, I think that gets you through a quarter, and obviously you played, I didn't play, so you're in a better position. But you can't carry that through 4 quarters.
Right.
I mean, at some point that's going to wane, and then you got to play skill.
Kevin, tell us about working with Steve Mesrano, and if anyone needs help, you guys will take care of them.
So, I like to tell everybody, obviously we do personal injury. There are a lot of good lawyers around. I'm going to be honest. What separates us, what kind of makes us more of a boutique firm is, we don't have 400, 500 phone calls. I don't have 50, 60 lawyers. We are a team. We are a family firm. We try to maximize every single case that comes in the door. We try to make sure we dot all our I's, cross all our T's. It is, you become a member of the family when you use Mesrano. It's what makes us different. And even when we can't help you, it's the first thing we do is we sit down and explain why. You don't just get random letters. There is a personal touch to it. It is a family firm. My brother works at the firm. Steven's brother works at the firm. Some of my children work at the firm. So when you pick up the phone and you start yelling about your lawyer, more than likely you're talking to one of their kids. So.
Well, great to see you, Kevin. Roll Tide. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday. I also want to tell you guys we're brought to you by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. We just started the year-end, winter-end sales event, and that was last week, right? 0% for 60 months with no payments for 90 days, which would be after the Super Bowl on brand new Santa Fe's and Tucson's. We have a great selection of these vehicles. And we also have brand new Hyundai starting at $21,989. And I'll tell you what I love about Barry Buckner and Brooke and everyone over there is you get great service, down-home service, and also they got rid of the side sticker. So you're going to know exactly how much it's going to cost without all the hidden fees. When we come back, we're going to talk to Chris Lowe from On 3, and then the second hour of the Bama Tailgate Show from the Flora-Bama right after this.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
This isn't just a place. It's a pulse and a rhythm where game day is more than a tradition. Heart-pounding yet? It's where the flavors are bold and the portions are generous. Mouth-watering yet? Art, music, and culture paint the city's soul. Creativity flowing yet? So whether you come for the thrill, the taste, the beauty, or the tradition, you'll stay for the Tusca life. Ready to feel it? This is Tuscaloosa. Live the Tusca life.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause Wiz wins and get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mesrano.
When you're ready to double down, dive in, drive for a show, and not look back. Roll into Pearl River Resort. From tee times to table games, water slides by day, slots by night. Savor the flavors, feel the fun, win big. Let's roll into Pearl River Resort. Must be 21 or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A night of rock you don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world!
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Back to the Bama Tailgate Show, Alabama and Auburn, night game, Jordan-Hare Stadium, Alabama with a ton on the line, and we're previewing that on today's show. So like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you're hanging with us on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel, and if you're listening on radio, we appreciate you guys being here. Roll Tide, thank you for spending your game day with us. This segment with Chris Lowe is presented by Visit Sevierville. And I'm talking about Sevierville and the Smoky Mountains right now, Smoky Mountain Winterfest. is on through February 16th. Millions of lights along the Parkway in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. Guests can also enjoy special Winterfest attractions like Shadrack's Christmas Wonderland, which is an LED drive-through light show, which is really amazing. And then there's a bunch of stuff taking place through Sevierville during both Harvest Fest and Winterfest. And you can find out more information online at visitsevierville.com. And it is always great to talk to our friend Chris Lowe from On3, the guru of college football, a guy that always seems to know everything. Chris, Alabama and Auburn are playing, and this one means a lot to Alabama, and Auburn would love to ruin the season.
So do you think, like Nick Saban, Mick, do you really think that Jordan-Hare is haunted?
I don't know, man. I just think they're a good team at home. Now, some weird stuff does happen there. I call it Auburn Jesus. But you know what? The last few times Alabama's been there, they've found a way to win.
They have, and that's what it's about. And these games always are tough to win. I don't care if you're a top 10 team or you're a team that's limping to the finish. I mean, look at Auburn. Auburn's got an interim coach, and they seem to have found a little bit of juice under DJ Durkin. And you know that winning this game for that fan base, for that team, for that program, that university will be massive. And I got no reason to believe. I mean, look at the line. Vegas usually has a decent idea what they're doing. What's that line, like 3.5 or 4? What was the latest one? Something in that, somewhere in that zone.
5.
And you know, I go back to those last, and you're right, Bama found ways to win each of their last 2 trips to the Plains, but both games were, I mean, gosh, it took almost miracles for Alabama to win. And I think, and here's the key. Now, what happened 2 years ago or 4 years ago, I mean, it doesn't really have a bearing on what's going to happen Saturday. But here's what I would say. I was at both those games. I spent a lot of time around those teams in those 2 years. And these 2 teams, too. I think this is a more talented Auburn team, Mick, than the one 2 years ago and the one 4 years ago, with a defense that certainly has held its own for much of this year, and some weapons on the outside that Auburn's finally starting to use on offense. So this is a better football team than what Alabama played against 2 years ago in Jordan-Hare and 4 years ago. And it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. Alabama has typically been able to come back from tough losses. Now, I know they didn't lose last week, but 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But this is sort of the, if we want to do a referendum on Kalen DeBoer and his time, almost 2 years now at Alabama, these are the kinds of games that I think have scared Bama fans the most, that they've gone in against teams that they should beat, teams that they're favored against, teams on the road that they haven't always gotten it done. And so here's another chance for Bama to prove that they're past that, because think about the difference in losing this game and winning it for Alabama.
Right.
You win it, you got a chance to win an SEC title and be a top 4 seed in the playoff. You lose it, you're going to be watching the playoff from home, and that's a pretty wide discrepancy. And you know what the offseason will be like, the climate in and around Tuscaloosa, if the Tide don't win this football game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that this one feels to me like if you lose and all of a sudden now you faded the last 2 seasons, and it kind of has, a little bit of a stench to the direction that things are going. You win, and hey, you know what? Like, you got everything you want in front of you. Go to Atlanta and you can beat anybody in the country. When you go to Alabama, you know that playing at Auburn is something that you're going to do. And if you play 4 years, you're going to do that twice. The good thing for Alabama is they've won back-to-back games. Deuce Knight looked pretty impressive running around for Auburn last game, but it was against Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at this Alabama and Auburn matchup, what are the things that you look at and feel like Bama is going to have the advantage, and then maybe what they wouldn't have the advantage?
This is where I'll start. What they can't put it all on Ty Simpson's shoulders. They just can't. And this defense is is good enough. DJ Durkins is a good enough defensive strategist that they're going to figure out ways to come after him and do different things, disguise things, and not let him throw the football for 380 yards and beat him. They're going to make other people beat him. So I think that's the first thing. If you ask me what's important in this game for Alabama, is getting some other guys, running the football better. I know we've talked about that ad nauseum on your show, and trying to get other people. And listen, Ryan Grove's done a nice job on key play calls this year.
Mm-hmm.
I can count, 3 or 4 that has probably made the difference in them winning and losing ball games. But I think more than anything, it's just not asking Ty Simpson to stand in there and throw the football 40-plus times and just really not have much else to your repertoire offensively. I think that's the first thing. The second thing is being able to get up, make things happen early, and get Auburn sort of on its heels. Don't give them a chance to get that crowd in the game. It's a night game. You go into the second half, it's anybody's game. At that point, Mick, there's a lot more pressure on Alabama than there is Auburn to win this football game. You don't want to give them what I would call house money in the second half. And I think thirdly, and we don't talk about this enough, Bama has got to, and I'm not going to pick just on the field goal kicker,
Mm-hmm.
but they've got to win special teams. When I say win special teams, make some field goals, don't give up a lot in return yards. You don't have any snafus in special teams, snaps, that type of thing. Those things typically in rivalry games on the road sometimes can make the difference in winning and losing. So those would be the 3 areas that I would point to.
Yeah, kicking game's been bad. Kicker got booed last week, missed field goal. And this is a tough place to kick, so Alabama's probably going to go for it more on 4th down than they would if they felt like the kicker was reliable. We act like Alabama got blown out by Oklahoma. They barely lost. They made mistakes, but they barely lost the game. They could have easily won that. They've gone through this really tough schedule. And yet, they're behind Notre Dame in the standings, and Notre Dame hasn't played anybody. Like, they've played a Sisters of the Poor schedule. Like, they have not even an eighth of a tough a schedule as Alabama played. They played Texas A&M and lost. They played Miami and lost. Everybody else they've played at a one-ranked team. Bama's played all these tough games, 4-1 against ranked teams. Were you surprised at all that Notre Dame's getting this much respect?
No, because it's sort of been a moving target the last few years, the committee's rankings and all the different things they look at, the metrics. To me, the head-to-head should rule the day.
Right.
To me, the team that's got the biggest gripe is probably Miami. You look, they're behind Notre Dame, and they beat Notre Dame. So football's different, man. In baseball and basketball, you play each other a ton of times in those sports. You don't in football. You usually play one time, and that should count, to me, double. If you beat a team head-to-head during that season. And for whatever reason, that hasn't been the case. I do agree Alabama's a more battle-tested team. Not just in Notre Dame, than a lot of teams. Now, ultimately, what's going to count is what the committee's final rankings look like.
Yeah.
Who are in those final rankings? I don't think Missouri's going to be in there. But you look at, say, Tennessee and Auburn are both probably going to be top. Certainly, if Tennessee beats Vandy, I say Auburn, Tennessee and Vandy, then they're both probably going to be top 20 teams that Alabama would have wins over. And I think that's got to count for something. So, I think Bama's got a gripe, but I think probably a lot of teams do. And that's what's frustrating to fans and administrators and coaches is it seems to be different every year, maybe even from week to week,
right,
on what they're looking for. I really think bad losses, quote unquote bad losses, because I don't think Oklahoma's a bad loss. Florida State's a bad loss.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways that's continued to haunt Alabama, even though that was the first game of the year.
Yeah.
But it seems, Mick, I don't know about you, man, that bad losses sometimes outweigh good wins.
Yeah, that's the problem to me, though. I mean, like, if you want teams to go out and play a tough schedule, you want to have good games week in and week out, and the SEC's done that. I mean, just look at some of the matchups that you're getting each week.
you can't penalize these teams for going out there and losing. I mean, you're going to lose. If you want an NFL type schedule, the NFL, nobody goes undefeated, and it's like, I'm adamantly disagree with the committee in this where they didn't lose. Yeah, but look, you didn't play anybody. Like that to me should matter more, but you're right. It doesn't. They look at a loss, said like 2 losses. Well, your season's over. But what if you played, a great team every week? Doesn't mean that that the other team that didn't lose is better than you. It just means that they didn't play as tough a schedule. Scheduling matters.
Yeah,
and I don't think the SEC should play these. They should play easier games if that's the case.
Well, and it's going to change next year too. Let's not forget the league goes to non-conference games next year.
Right.
So there's going to be 8 more losses automatically. And if you're, Bama, I think is it 2 years Bama plays Ohio State, correct?
Don't they start
playing Ohio State in 2 years?
Yeah.
So if you're Alabama, let's just use Alabama hypothetically. In 2027, Bama's going to play 9 SEC games and Ohio State. There's a lot of teams in the country that are going to lose. If that's the case, you're going to lose 3 games. I'm not saying Bama will lose 3 games, but 85-90% of your teams are probably going to lose in that type of schedule. There's a decent chance you're going to lose 3 games. And does that mean if you play that type of schedule and you're still a really good football team that you're going to get squeezed over above someone who's got 1 or 2 losses but plays an easier schedule? That's why I think it's so hard.
Ohio State versus Michigan. This nooner in Ann Arbor will be preceded by ESPN College Game Day, which will add to the festivities of this marquee matchup. The Buckeyes have had a death grip on the reins of that number 1 horse for several weeks and don't think an aggressive Wolverine could break that grip. Leonard's loser in a close one, Michigan. Missouri versus Arkansas. The 7-4 Tigers head to Fayetteville to battle the bottom feeders of the SEC at 2-9 and still looking for their first conference win. 7 of those Razorback losses have been by an average of only 3.7 points per game. Reminiscent of a line from the old Heat House show, one of Leonard's favorites, "If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all." Could the Hogs salvage the season finale in this border rivalry? Leonard's loser, Suey, Arkansas. Notre Dame versus Stanford. The Pope's pupils look to continue its quest for a CFP bid as the road runs through Palo Alto. The Irish open as a 32-point favorite and enters this one on a 9-game winning streak after destroying Syracuse last week 70-7. The Leprechauns have sharpened their chainsaws, and the tree ain't got a prayer. Leonard's loser, Stanford. Kentucky versus Louisville. The Wildcats at 5-6 visit their Redbird 7-4 neighbors in this bluegrass nooner. The Cards are bowl eligible, and the Felines are coming in on a wing and a prayer. Leonard's loser, Kentucky. Virginia Tech versus Virginia. Saturday's ACC tilt between the Gobblers and the Cavaliers will be the 106th meeting between these 2 in-state rivals. Hokie Bird is on a 4-game winning streak in this series, and the Cavs need a win to claim a spot in the ACC championship. Leonard's loser, Virginia Tech. Oregon versus Washington. The 10-1, 7-1 in conference play Ducks waddle to Seattle, hoping to halt the Huskies' sled, coming in at 8-3, 5-3 in conference play. Oregon quarterback Dante Moore touts some impressive stats with 2,447 yards in the air, 23 TDs, and only 6 INTs, and a 72.9 completion rate. The Sled Dogs would like nothing better than a win at home to close out their regular season and spoil Donald's playoff picture. Leonard's loser, Oregon. Miami versus Pittsburgh. For both teams, this is a chance to make the ACC championship game, but several scenarios would have to play out for either winner to make it. This is a nooner on ABC, and Miami is planning on Cat 4 gale force winds sweeping through the Steel City. Leonard's loser, Pittsburgh. Texas Tech versus West Virginia. Tech is ranked number 5 in the polls at 10-1, 7-1 in the Big 12, and can make a Big 12 championship game with a win over the Mountaineers, and the boys from Morgantown at 4-7, 2-6 ain't going nowhere. The Red Raiders have been below the radar and have jumped from a 23 position in preseason to a top 5 position. Leonard's loser, West Virginia. Maryland versus Michigan State. The Terrapins crawled to Motown, hoping to put a chokehold on the Spartans. 2 teams with 7 W's between them. Basketball can't start soon enough. Leonard's loser, Maryland. Hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving. And be sure and talk to Santa early and often. And remember, if you can't wear a smile, wear a white hat so we can tell you from the bad guy. Get me out of here, Percy.
The original Bama Football Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker and CoverCrimson.com host Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented by Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play! Featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. Also brought to you by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Luxury with a national championship service department. Yingling Lager. Yingling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. The Flora-Bama World Famous Beach Bar and Lounge in Orange Beach. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code Bama Tailgate for amazing deals at NewLifeArt.com.
And also brought to you by Visit Tuscaloosa, where tradition meets adventure. Alabama personal injury lawyer Steve Mesrano. Mesrano wins, we got you.
Now the host of the original Bama Tailgate Show, here's Mick Gillispie.
All right, Roll Tide, second hour of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show on the air. Great to hang out with all of you guys, whether you're listening on radio across the state of Alabama, watching on our Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're there, or you're hanging out with us here at the world famous Flora-Bama, right on the line in Perdido Key. Let me tell you guys about Avenue D. That's our Web3 home. Mike got some swag here. We got to get Ryan some Bama Tailgate Show swag. You guys can win some by hitting that QR code if you're looking on the YouTube channel and being part of Mick Nation. We put on games each week. We have weekly cash prizes that we give away. It's all free, and it's a way for us to stay connected. And that's where eventually we'll have our store as we build our home on the Web3 platform. Also, I want to thank Bradley Price and Black Belt Outdoor. They're in 13 counties across central Alabama. You see Jake Coker and me on all those billboards each week. I need to get you guys on those. And your business can be on those as well. So take advantage there. And again, Roll Tide, everybody. With Mike Johnson, it's good to see Ryan Anderson in the house. What's up, man?
What up, Mike? What up, Mike?
Good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did.
I just was catching up Ryan. I was like, hey, man, what high school did you go to? He said Daphne. I was like, of course, we're different ages, but we played Daphne and Pat White when I was in high school.
Oh, Pat White, yeah. That's
Dude,
he knows Pat White.
I said Pat probably went 3 of 5 passing that day for 40 yards and scrambled for about 250. Like, I mean, it was an absolute whipping. And so when I hear Daphne in high school, I'm like, no thanks, I'm good on that. Pretty good program over there.
Is it Pat White's grandfather that does the septic stuff? Because that is one of the nicest guys. No, I'm telling you,
It's a real story.
This is real. His grandfather is one of the coolest dudes I met in Fairhope. And I was Ryan is obviously a former NFL football player, played at Bama, national champion, but he's also the guy that runs his company, which is 22 Builds. You've done some great work at my house. his grandfather was in my neighborhood doing work one time, and I talked to him. I met one of his nephew or something at your party that we had down here.
Oh yeah, that's his grandson.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yes, it's always
It sounds like something Mick's lying about, where he's like, yeah,
No,
or that guy.
no,
Hey,
no.
my cousin's Pat White.
Well, I don't know the grandfather's name, but he's one of those people that you meet him and you love him from that point on. I've run into him 2 or 3 different times, and I don't know how he remembers me every time, but he's a great dude. Well, Ryan, awesome to see you today, man, and thank you for jumping on the show. Unfortunately, Jay Coker's off this week, so we'll have him back next week for the the SEC championship game. But it's great to have you two guys.
Yeah, man. What do you think about Mick's shirt he's got on today? He's got like a terry cloth kind of towel thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't
Bama shirt. Feel that. It breathes.
Real cozy over there.
This breathes. Well, when you're in the Flora-Bama, you got to if I go surfing, I can just throw this on. It's going to dry up all the water.
Yeah, man. You look like you just got out of the shower. Nonetheless, I was catching up with Ryan a little bit. Obviously, we missed each other at Bama by a couple of years, but B Sci-Fi for life and
No doubt.
Letterman and all the other stuff, man. But it's funny because when he walked in, I talked to Jeff Allen about this one time, Bama head athletic trainer, and we were not as big as these guys are. Like when I look at Caden Proctor, Evan Neal, like some of the players that have played here recently, I talked to Jeff Allen one time. I said, Jeff, there's no way that I would have started on the offensive lines that they have had over the last like 4 or 5 years. And he's like, Mike, not gonna lie to you, probably not. He's like, dude, he's like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. These guys, if you don't weigh like 330, going all the way back to the years, and I was teammates with DJ Fluker, but I mean, DJ Fluker was like the biggest human I'd ever seen.
Look at
when
this.
I met and helped recruit DJ Fluker, and I met DJ Fluker at Chuck's one night when I was recruiting him, and his fingers split my forearms and he's shaking my hand. I'm like, God, you're the biggest dude I've ever met. But it reminded me when you walked in, I'm like, man, I forget what it's like sometimes to be in a room with other football players and how people just glare at you like, you're some kind of giant.
Well, you guys are giants. I stand next to you two and Chris, your cousin, and I feel like I'm like 6 foot. I feel like I'm like a midget.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, really, because you guys are so tall.
You kind of are.
Well,
so
look,
there's that.
I want to say a shout out to Heath from Huntsville, who came to the show today to be here and hang out with us. He has just hooked us all up with a bushwhacker.
Is that who that was?
That
God
was
bless
Heath,
him, man.
and I see it's got a floater on there.
Yeah,
I'm
be
going to
careful,
warn
Mick.
everyone that these
careful,
can be dangerous here.
Yes.
I'm looking at your dad. He knows this.
Yeah.
It was
Chris does too.
And Chris does too. I was in this exact room in 2016. I had too many of these. Thank you to my man John McInnes, my teammate at Alabama, my fraternity brother, and Jennifer Parnell. And I didn't make the show.
Dude.
Well, I didn't finish the show.
Have you ever heard this story? It's the greatest story ever, man. It's
And
great,
now Mike's a host on a radio show.
I
because
know.
of that.
I was gonna say my radio career literally started that night as Mick got trashed live on air, and I looked at him and I was like, "This guy's not gonna be able to finish this." It's like somebody cut this guy's microphone. So I took it upon myself to call my cousin over. I was like, "Me and you are hosting the rest of the show. There's no way Mick is going to be able to finish because he had like 15 of these things."
I did.
I don't know how you finished the whole day.
I didn't know what a floater was. Okay.
And yet here we are.
I found out the hard way.
Not this kind of floater, that is.
just for the sake of everyone in this room right now, I worked for the radio station at the time, and for 2 weeks, I thought I was going to get fired. So every time a 205 number would pop up, I expected it to be management telling me that I was let go. So I devised this great plan that I was going to say I had bad oysters, and I went through and found like these cases of like bad oysters. So,
An oyster recall in North America. Yeah, man.
So that was going to be my game plan.
Bad plan.
Yeah, but I didn't get fired. Now I own it. So if it happens, it's on me.
Yeah,
right? Thank you.
let's have
Roll
some
Tide,
drink,
everybody.
man.
Yeah.
Let's have
All right,
some
let's
drinks.
drink.
It's
Let's
fun
all
today.
drink. All right,
Do this.
let's talk about the number one best rivalry in college football, Alabama and Auburn. I think this is what makes the SEC. I think what makes this state when these two teams get together. I love this matchup. I really do. I think I've been to a lot of the games, and I think that the SEC's built on the Iron Bowl.
I'm curious to hear Ryan's because we did best and worst kind of Iron Bowl memories earlier, and of course I have some very bad ones. I was there before Nick Saban was a part of Alabama football, but I also was part of the resurrection and got my chance at get back. I'm curious to hear what your stories are because your time at Alabama was obviously much different than mine and had a very high level of success in that. But I'm sure your Iron Bowls were just as crazy.
Oh yeah, the Iron Bowl was always like it was actually by that game. Like you can't ever like count that as a dub. Like Auburn gonna come out and they're gonna play their best game, and it's always gonna be against us.
Yeah,
it's like and playing at Jordan-Hare never made it any better. Like that's like a gloomy place. So
man,
a lot of concrete in there.
Yeah,
House of Horrors.
Yeah, it really is.
Horrors.
I hated playing in that stadium.
Well, there's a chance that Auburn's going to use two different quarterbacks in this game. Is it as guys, Ryan, you were on defense, Mike, you were on offense. You guys have been around the game forever. How do you prepare for two different quarterbacks? Two different styles, right?
That's a him question.
Deuce Knight, and look, Deuce Knight's a really fun player to watch.
Yeah, he is.
You got to admit that.
Yep. That was always like the challenge for us, even back when I was playing a dual threat guys, but having to go into one game and having to have like those different game plans is always going to be a challenge. You know what I mean? Like, but you got a guy that just back there patting the ball, you can pin your ears back and go like tee off on those guys.
Right.
But you got a guy that's mobile. A lot of that stuff go out the window. It's like you gotta play sound ball.
And you know what's interesting about those two guys? For me as an offensive lineman, Mick, I could always feel when the pass rushers were rushing me differently, right? When you have a dual threat quarterback in the backfield, as well as I do, hands on you, they're kind of looking in the backfield like, all right, where's the guy going to go? When the guy's a statue in the backfield, all of a sudden it's a freaking rip move off the block, and you're like, what just happened? There's somebody different playing back behind me right now. They don't think his legs are going to be quite an issue. But even with these two guys, they're both mobile, just not to the level of Deuce Knight. Daniels is going to be, is going to do his thing, but not to the level of a Deuce Knight, possibility. But there's always that kind of back and forth, and there's always, as an offensive line, people don't understand it as an offensive lineman. Just having the threat back there changes everything from the snap.
Exactly.
Like, it's like I said, it's like you're looking around me going like, okay, where's he going to go next? And I'm not really getting pass rush move like one-on-ones from from the get-go.
Right. That's a good point, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're killing them. Well, look, Bama's O-line versus Auburn's D-line. Auburn's defense has been really good this year. Bama's offensive line has been inconsistent, good at some points. They got two players that are going to be in the NFL, and Parker Brailsford, and then obviously the guy that's the crispy screen, right?
Yeah.
Caden Proctor.
Forgot that was the name of that play. Yeah, I mean that's there's no doubt, and I'm curious to get Ryan's thoughts on Bama's O-line because it seemed like at the beginning of the year, Bama's O-line was thought really highly, and the defense was like the question mark. And I feel like things have kind of flipped. Like everybody expects a lot out of Kane Womack's defense and the O-line. It's like, what's wrong with the run game?
Yeah.
What's wrong with this?
To start the season, though, that was the group I felt like was going to be our strength this year, especially like with the size that we got in and the guys. Like you say, I saw those guys in chunks one night when I was up there, like just towering over me.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe how big they were.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, like I said, that's a group that we wanted to lean on this year. And just, as seasons progress, it's like they've been inconsistent now to us a point where it's like they almost a liability from my standpoint when I'm watching it. And I think it's all a mindset with our O-line. Do want to give some kudos to Kane on his defense.
That next question. Let's talk Kane Womack's defense. Did any of you guys think at the beginning of the season, after the way that they played against Florida State, that we'd be sitting here going into the Iron Bowl going, this defense is leading the way for Alabama?
Not at all, mate. Not at all. And you know how I feel about it.
I know. I talked to you on the phone for an hour. You talked most of the time.
I listened to one of my old teammates, Roman Harper. He talks on SEC Network all the time about he hates eye discipline. He hates everything that goes along with Kane Womack's defense. And obviously, I didn't play. Breaking news: I didn't play defense. I'm like just kind of listening to him, and a lot of the stuff makes sense. But as you go throughout the year, it's like, okay, there's a takeaway. There's a big turnover. Yeah. That's a big red zone stop, and it just says built. And it seems like the guys are really buying into what he's asking of them.
No doubt, man. I think it's just a tell too of like we so used to like doing it a certain way on defense. Under Coach Saban, playing the 3-4, the nickel. Some multiple stuff on third down, not being real exotic to a guy that's brought a defense in that's all exotic. It's always heavy pressure, and at times it wasn't working. And at times I feel like we still are like susceptible in some spots in it, but it's been working. The guys are flying around, they bought in, and they've owned it. So I'm happy with where we are. I never thought we'd be here.
Yeah. It's like you don't love the process, but you love what it looks like afterwards. Right. So you're like, all right, not going to ask any questions.
And they didn't get any, like last game I thought they played a good enough game to win, or Oklahoma game, which by the way, I got to say this, Eastern Illinois does have a football team. One of their coaches is here, so thank you for being here. No disrespect for us. Of all the things I said, I didn't know they had a football team, and then one of the coaches is here.
I don't know if he was the coach, but he was like, we just came down here and just stayed the week. I was like, okay, good. That really backfired. What are the odds of that happening?
I was like, the best one was I was making a comment about Bill Battle cutting off Dixieland Delight.
Oh my goodness!
And Coker goes, "Yeah, they were at our show," and I was like, "I love those battles."
That was not a bright moment in Bama history when they stopped playing Dixieland Delight.
I saw him talking to somebody. I didn't realize it was the Battle family. So I'm a big
I got to school,
Bill Battle fan now.
When I got to school is when they weren't playing Rammer Jammer.
I know. I remember those days.
And Facebook had just started. It was a college only thing. I told Mick the story before. They're like, hey, join this Facebook group. Bring back Rammer Jammer. I'm like, what the hell is Rammer Jammer? I don't even know what that is. I didn't know we needed to bring it back. And then a year into it, we bring it back. I was like, okay, that's good news. I didn't really know that was a thing. But here we are. Yeah,
we're back.
And it returned.
Dixieland Delight, all that. We got it all back now. All right, last question on this segment, guys. Win or out for Bama? I know we kind of talked about that, Ryan. Is there any chance that Bama could lose the game and get to the college football playoff?
No, I don't think so.
Nor should they. I don't think.
Exactly.
I think that Ryan probably follows the same line of thinking I do. Even last year, where everybody's vouching for Bama as a 3-loss team, and we come from an era where it's like you just didn't mess up.
Right.
You want to get in, win today.
Exactly.
Win today if you want to get in the college football playoff. And I still want regular season to mean something, and I can't say that and vouch for a 3-loss team.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's just I think that's how we were kind of trained. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Guys, I want to thank all of our radio affiliates. It's good to see my man Jonathan Timmons and family here. From WJLX, he gave me the Brett Elmore koozie. Of course, the late, great, big, sexy Elmo. We think about him each week, and we miss him. Also, as you hang out with us at the Flora-Bama, I want to tell you about Yuengling Lager. Yuengling is a 6th-generation company, and our friend Cheryl Yuengling, who's part of the company's ownership, is a proud Alabama grad. There's a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles, and try Yuengling Flight. I've got a bunch of Yuengling Flight keychains. If anybody wants one, they're free. Come up and get one. Yuengling Flight is a lighter version, like the low-carb light beer. And when you come here and then you want to go out and do your run, it might be a little lighter than the lager. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the big games around college football, make our picks. We got Steve Powers coming over. I think it's about that time to go to the bullpen and bring him in. All that as the Bama Tailgate Show rolls on.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Why walk when you can fly? Tap into your inner eagle. Yuengling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Touchdown flavor, Gulf Coast style. Whether you're here for the big game or just hungry for a win, Flora-Bama Over Grill has you covered. Catch every pass, every play, and every moment on our wall of big screens while you enjoy fresh Gulf seafood, legendary burgers, and ice-cold drinks. With waterfront views and game day energy like no other, this is where football meets paradise. Grab your crew, bring your team spirit, and make Flora-Bama Over Grill your home field advantage this season, where the food, drinks, and football are always a win. Located across from the world famous Flora-Bama or online at Flora-Bama Grill.com.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got Stephen Mesrano.
You don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
Great to have everyone hanging out with us here at the Flora-Bama, talking Bama football. And I know Big Poppy would probably be proud that somebody asked you, Ryan, if you played for the Red Sox.
She just came by and said she hates Arkansas. I was like, who hates Arkansas?
Like,
I don't know.
Like Big Poppy. He's like Big
Arkansas
Poppy.
doesn't have any enemies. Who hates Arkansas? I've never had a fan walk at me and say, I hate Arkansas. Who hates
Oh my
Arkansas?
gosh! But look, I got to set the segment up. That was awesome because Ryan's got his Red Sox shirt on. So
yeah, she did.
So did you beat the Yankees in 04?
Yeah, man. I'm Dustin Pedroia, and he's Manny Ramirez.
Right. Oh my goodness! Look, the show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort. And God.
Hold it together, Mick.
I know, but that was
hour number 2.
That's what makes the show great.
I know.
Now is a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge and Sportsbook located at Golden Moon Casino. The Timeout Sports Lounge offers traditional sports betting in which guests can bet on all professional sports and major collegiate sports. They got 20 big screen TVs. They got 12 state-of-the-art wager boards, 3 wager stations. And Jake Coker and I just got back from there a week ago. We had a great time. We're on the next commercial that's coming out. Coker's on the one that's going right now, but we love going up there and having fun at the sports book.
This guy. I don't. Now you played with Jake. I didn't play with Jake Coker. You did. But every time I get around Mick, he talks about Jake, and I'm like, I mean, dang,
he is pretty funny.
Awesome.
He's gonna love it when I say that somebody
met Jake a couple times, but he must be awesome. Oh. Hold it together.
All right, listen. Let's talk about these games, all right? Number 14, Vandy's at number 20, Tennessee. The Vols are giving up 2.5 to a Vandy team with Diego Pavia. The over-under 64.5. How do you think this one's going to go? I'll start with you. All right, Ryan.
I like Vandy. I like Vandy in that game.
Man.
Yeah, look, I think that Diego Pavia is one of the most exciting guys in college football. Bama beat them. You know, they have a loss to Bama. They got a loss to Texas. If they win this game, then I think they have a really good chance to make the college football playoff. Part of that is because people want to see Pavia in the big game. They want to see what he can do. Yeah, because
I don't think so.
No, I love him, man. I love the swagger that he brings to the table. I know he talks a lot of smack, but you know what? Those are the guys I grew up with. I like the guys that back it up. I don't think there's any disrespect to it. I think that it's like, look, if you're at Vandy, the only way you're going to make yourself believe that you can beat the big dogs is that you got to make yourself believe you can do it. And he's proven that he can do that. I said they could beat Bama
I know, and we called that shot, and they
nobody else in the world said that.
About that.
Yeah.
Both of y'all.
Yeah.
We just saw the style and that they played with last year and said this could give Bama trouble.
I knew the delayed style of handoff offense they were running. I was like, this is going to give us issues, man. We didn't know Womack's, defensive tendencies enough and things like that. And I hated that. I don't know. I mean, he says people want to see Diego Pavia. Why is he going to get more Heisman love if that's the case? Did you see Theo Vaughn go out with his mom for senior day last week?
No, I didn't see that, but I love Theo Vaughn.
Incredible.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think Vegas sees this as two teams are extremely even.
Yeah,
and they're going to look at it and say, all right, you're going to get 3 points because it's in Knoxville. Vandy should come out and play with an edge, but I keep waiting on Vandy to do the same thing they did last year and kind of fall off at the end.
Yeah.
But they haven't, and it's to their credit. And they're, that's, half their players are 25 years old, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
so you're taking, who are you taking in the game?
Taking Vandy.
You're taking Vandy. You're gonna get the 2.5 on the road, Mike.
I'm taking Tennessee. I just think that environment's going to be a little too much. Vandy does some good things, man. Don't get me wrong. And I'm a huge believer in Clark Lee and Diego, but this is just a game. No matter what, they're still Vanderbilt, and they're still liable to drop games like this at the end of the season.
I agree with you. Look, I want Vanderbilt to win. I want to see Vandy for this is the first time in my life. And I mean, like you said earlier, I am the OG of Bama football talking here. I mean, I remember when Gene Stallings was the coach when I got to Alabama.
Yeah.
So I'm go back some years. Vandy has never had a game like this in my life where you're going into the last game of the season against Tennessee, and with a win, something really special could happen for you. I hope they win, but Tennessee's going to wear them out. I just know it. It's in Knoxville. Agree. Tennessee has owned them over the years. It's not going to change. The Volunteers at home, even though that this game is, I just think Tennessee's going to win. I just do. I don't even know why. I just think that it'll just be too big of a game for me.
It's the atmosphere. Right, it's the atmosphere. That's why you think that.
All right, you guys are both from down here in L.A. Well, Mike, you're from Pensacola.
Look, man, we're like exit.
But
3,
yeah, right,
okay?
right up here. We consider.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, we consider Pensacola, Alabama.
It's exit 5 off of I-10.
Yeah, so let's just throw you guys all in the same boat here. Florida State against Florida. It's in the swamp. I know Florida doesn't have a coach. 2.5-point favorite against this Florida State team. Mike Norvell coming back. Florida State beat Alabama to start the season. 51.5, the over-under. Mike grew up a Florida State fan.
Yeah, go on. You had to throw that out there right now. Bro, like, are we not doing the Bama tailgate show?
Well, I know. I just wanted to I wanted to set you up for your
Mick
pick.
grew up an Auburn fan.
No,
I might as well throw that out there too. Like,
I did not. I grew up a Maryland Terp fan.
That was unnecessary.
I was a Terp fan.
Yeah, that was completely
Ryan was an Oklahoma fan.
Yeah.
Truth be told.
No, look, man.
But we all graduated from Bama, so we're Bama guys now.
Does this game, this Florida State game, does it not fit in the category of who the hell knows? You know what I mean? Like, dude, I mean, it's just like, who knows? These teams are both so bad at times. That still makes me sick that Bama lost to Florida State earlier in the season. And you fire one coach, and the other guy should have been fired, but Florida State's worried that they're going to be sixth in line to hire a new coach this offseason. Right. They're like, oh, we believe in Mike Norvell. No, you don't, dude. You just don't want to pay LSU and Florida money, so you're going to keep them around for another year. I don't know. This is a team that, I think that Florida State is actually more functional at this point. I think that's why you're going to see them, not as bad of underdogs as like a Vanderbilt is in Knoxville. But again, it's like you add in the fact that who knows without a head coach, who knows when it's a rivalry game on the road, who knows what the quarterback situation is at both these teams, and the era of NIL, how hard are they going to play?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
Who knows?
I'll say this. Look, Ryan, I'll say this. I saw Doug Cooper here today. I know he's a huge NASCAR guy. Florida State won Daytona at the beginning of the year when they beat Alabama. Doug understands that. That's how NASCAR works. So Florida State won their championship before it ever started, and so they feel like they are doing really well. Bama lost to Florida State. So who cares about the rest of the season? I'm going to take the Gators to win at home.
Okay.
And, and that's kind of where we are right now. All right, we're going to talk Bama, and we're going to talk Auburn coming up. Again, we appreciate the great people here at the Flora-Bama, all of our friends that are hanging out with us under the tent as we talk about the Crimson Tide. Our friend Steve Powers, who's very famous here in these parts, former radio celebrity, and now actually part of the Flora-Bama, is going to be on with us for the rest of the show. So we got to take a break so that his entourage can get him here. And then we'll talk about what's going on here and more. of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this.
Well, howdy, fans, and welcome to Week 14 of Leonard's Losers. The LSPM, that's the Little Smart Pill Machine, was smoking last week at 26-7. LSU versus Oklahoma. The Tigers come storming to Norman after a near-disastrous night in Death Valley last Saturday night. The Felines were a 21-point favorite over Western Kentucky and squeaked by in a 13-10 win, while the Sooners snuck by Missouri 17-6. The Sooner Schooner needs to emerge unscathed, and there will be a CFP berth in the mail. Leonard's loser, LSU. Penn State versus Rutgers. The Nittany Lions decimated Nebraska last week 37-10, while the Scarlet Knights were trounced by a Buckeye 42-9. Both have identical 5-6, 2-6 conference records, and a W here will give the victor that bowl qualifying sixth win. Leonard's loser, Rutgers. Florida State versus Florida. Neither team has the season they had hoped for. Osceola had visions of sugar plums dancing in his head as the Noles defeated Alabama 31-17 in Week 1. The season went south from there, and Norville's Noles need a win to become bowl eligible. Things are much worse in the swamp, with the Gators coming in at 3-8, no head coach, and blowout losses to Kentucky and Tennessee. The Gator chomp has lockjaw, and Osceola has honed his spearhead. Leonard's loser, Florida. North Carolina versus North Carolina State. The intensity of this rivalry is driven by the similar sizes, large number of alumni living in the area, and they are only 25 miles apart. Heel head mentor Bill Belichick doesn't need to be checking the mail for a bowl invitation at 4-7, while the pack comes in at 6-5 with their fingers crossed. Pride and state bragging rights are about all that's on the line in Raleigh Saturday night. Leonard's loser, North Carolina. SMU versus California. The Bears are coming off their worst game of the season, a 31-10 drubbing by Stanford, including 3 fumbles, 2 of which led to TDs, and 13 penalties. The Ponies may have the more highly motivated team since they have a chance to land a spot in the ACC title game. The Bears are already bowl eligible at 6-5, but a win might lead to greener pastures. Leonard's loser, California. Alabama versus Auburn. This playoff scenario is easy to figure out. Even Leonard can understand it. If the tide is high and rolls over the Tigers, the Red Efflets are in the SEC championship game in Atlanta and most likely a playoff spot. If the War Eagles win, that would put them at 6-6 and a possible bowl bid. This one is recommended viewing starting at 7:30 on ABC. Leonard's loser, Auburn. Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. The Nashville Yacht Club sets sail on I-40 East, looking to dock on the banks of the Tennessee River at Neyland Stadium. This in-state slobber knocker should provide plenty of fireworks provided by Door quarterback Diego Pavia and Vol signal caller Joey Aguilar. The West End Navy looks to improve their record to 10-2, while the home team is hoping to finish the regular season at 9-3. The Doors destroyed the Lexington Wildcats last Saturday, while the Tennessee Long Riflemen drained the swamp. This gym kicks off at 3:30 and can be seen on ESPN. Leonard's loser in a shootout, Tennessee.
Back at the Flora-Bama, talking about Alabama and Auburn, hanging out with all of our friends here down on the coast, and great to have all of you guys with us as well. Show's brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery, and there's a lot of Yuenglings going out here as we hang out and talk about this football game, but what a great day to be here and hang out. Always love when I get a chance to come down here, and great to hang with Mike Johnson, one of my original partners on the show. I see you just threw your hat out.
Yeah, man, like a Mardi Gras parade.
Right, we got Ryan Anderson on here, and now we got Steve Powers.
Hey, show him something, mister.
Yeah, look at that.
Whoa.
You just got one of the tailgate show hats. Truth be told,
No thanks.
We had an order of hats that we were going to have to give away while we were on the show, but they didn't make it because of the holiday. So,
Well, I appreciate the shirt nonetheless because that was the star of the show so far.
Well, you need to be going to the Flora-Bama gift shop today. Is what you need to be.
There
doing.
you go.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Look,
buy one, get 50% off.
Yeah.
But for Ryan, it's free.
There you go.
We got some Boston Red Sox stuff.
Hey, everybody loves Big Poppy. But I'm going to tell you, Mike made a joke about my shirt. You guys got to check out the YouTube channel. The Bama, the Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, yeah.
The terry cloth is another great piece that I'm wearing right now.
That's when you did the Magnum PI thing.
This is
the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. And I love those. And you guys need to check out my show that Shank and I did, Alphonse Taylor. He wore his to the studio, and I was so happy to see because he looked great and he was awesome on the show.
What
Mike.
size?
He was a 4X.
What size does Shank wear? Okay.
He's 6'7".
Okay.
6'7". 6'7". He told me that there were bigger guys on the
personally
offensive
know
line.
Shank, but he doesn't seem like a slender type.
No, but demands respect. Whoever wears a 4.
Hey, he did a great. It's a great show, and you guys can go watch it right on the channel.
What's up, Mick? What are you drinking over there?
Well, you know, I'm double fisting right now, thanks to Heath from Huntsville in this amazing Flora-Bama cup.
Yeah.
That is crimson, and then I've got a Bushwhacker with Screwball original peanut butter whiskey in there, and then I've also got you got to have a Yingling. I got all that stuff.
Yeah,
triple fisted. He said
triple fisted. All right,
boy.
let's talk a little bit of this football.
Possible?
Paul,
let's talk a little of this football panel, and this is an esteemed panel up here, by the way. Can Bama handle the pressure? It's the Oysters.
Yeah, no, that's all right. It's all we've all had oysters today. No, Ken Bama. I think we're going to find out a lot about this program tonight. As you move into the Iron Bowl, and I said this earlier to Mick, and I said it earlier this week. It just feels like a game. There's so much teeters on this. I think if Bama can't handle the pressure and can't handle business, all of a sudden, Kalen DeBoer wipes out all the good stuff he's done this year. Right? All of a sudden, you're right back at 9-3. All of a sudden, you're right back outside the college football playoff, and you feel exactly like you did last year.
Exactly.
The wins have been different this year. The losses have been different this year. But at the end of the day, if you can't beat Auburn, you're going to be right back in the same spot. So I personally think they can. I think Kalen DeBoer, if nothing else, handles these moments well.
Yeah.
In his tenure at Alabama. So, you went on the road, you beat Georgia in a game that felt massive. You've won these games that feel massive. I think it's just another opportunity for him to showcase what he can do as a coach and handle business the right way.
Yeah. What about you, Ryan?
I feel the same, man. I'm gonna agree with Mike, man. I think it's Coach DeBoer's handled the bigger games well. It's like when it's back against the wall, he get these guys around and they come play some of the best football we've seen them play. I think it's the games that we should win and shoe-ins is like that's been giving us trouble. Like we've lost games that we should have won. You know, when you go look at our record, so. That also scares me. Like this is a game that we should win.
Yeah, right.
Paper, you know what I mean?
Talent-wise, we should.
Exactly. So I'm excited to see how the game play out. Like I said, we're gonna find out a whole lot about our program tonight.
Yeah, and Steve, you understand this. I mean, I don't know how you look past the Iron Bowl.
No, that's what I was gonna say. It's the Iron Bowl. We've seen outcomes that we didn't expect sometimes. Obviously,
yeah.
But I think,
like the Gravedigger. Nobody expected that.
That's right.
Boom, out you go.
But what Mike was saying is, leading up to this game, it's a big moment for DeBoer. It's a big moment for the team, right? So I think keeping that in mind, knowing how they're going to prepare and be ready for it, you gotta lean to Bama on this one for sure.
You feel good about it
because the talent, number one, but the momentum they have as well. I think the peak is coming at the right time.
Do you think that Kalen DeBoer understands what he's walking into? That's what I keep going back to. I think he's obviously coached at the very highest level of games, coaching national title games, but I don't know that he's ever walked into a situation like this.
And let me ask you this, Mike, and then I want to ask Ryan this because you guys were there at different times, right? You were there for the Shula to Saban. You were on the first national championship team. Ryan was there once the dynasty was established. I remember Nick Saban's first Iron Bowl. He didn't get it. And then afterwards, he got it. Like, I felt like he was like, it's just, he used to say it's just another game. And then he never said that after he took the whoop down.
Experience to realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, this is a game we're going to win.
This almost feels, in a lot of ways, more like the first time we played against LSU with him as the head coach. Because I think that it's like, yeah, it's just another game, but then you get there, and a lot of people have always replayed the and it's funny because they've been standing on a cooler giving the pregame speech. You couldn't see everybody, so he stepped up on a cooler.
And you boys are big.
But I think like we show it's just another game. It's just
I
a game.
stand on a cooler
and then
when
you
I'm
get
standing
down
next to you,
there.
Ryan.
LSU fans are out for freaking blood. I mean, they're burning effigies of him next to the bus and rocking the bus and throwing eggs. And it's like, yeah, it's not just another game. And I think Nick felt that in that moment. It was like, I got to give a pregame speech, and he stands up on the cooler and gives a pregame speech. I don't know if he ever understood what the Iron Bowl was until into it, like you're saying, and we lost the first one with him. But it feels more to me like that LSU game in 2008. We're the number one team in the country, winning overtime. And it was like, man, this really actually does mean something more. Right. And I hope that Kalen DeBoer has that moment.
Yeah. And Ryan, you were there, and he had figured it out.
It's one of those things. You can't just like, you can't learn how to swim by reading about it. You got to jump in. And this is his first game at Jordan-Hare. You got to experience it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know. I don't think he's ready for it. You can't
right
until you've been there. You can't physically and mentally be ready for this type of environment, this atmosphere in the state of Alabama. So you got to go get some.
Maybe the pressure makes him a diamond.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure.
What
on this
what a
game,
great
man.
quote.
I know. I was loving this
that.
analogy.
I'm stealing
It's
that.
so good.
Can't learn
Ryan.
about swimming by
I
reading
feel
about it.
I feel like these guys have those, like, you know, when every day you wake up and you pull the little thing off and has the next quote to live by.
Yeah. The 365 calendar.
Yeah.
I
love those.
I need some more of that in my life, for sure.
Some Ben, you know Ben Ingram. Ben Ingram's the voice of the Braves. He's one of my best friends. You go to his house.
Ben Ingram.
Ben Ingram, the Atlanta Braves. Like
Atlanta
you go into the bathroom and there's a quote taped to the mirror. You know, like you're in the kitchen and you open. He's just got quotes taped everywhere.
Probably got a chest tattoo with Carpe Diem backwards, so that when he looks in the mirror.
Don't get me in trouble with Ben. Ryan Grubb on the field again. Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator, on the field again. Why do that, and what does that mean?
I think for me, and it's funny, we were just talking about how I worked for the Atlanta Falcons radio network. They did the same thing a few weeks ago. The Atlanta Falcons did. Zach Robinson comes down to field level, and it's like, just wanted to open up the lines of communication and this, that, and the other. I don't know what to think of it. All I can think of is that, like, you know, somewhere there was a lapse in communication and they just wanted to talk face to face. And that's all you can gather from it, because I don't think there's any doubt that when you're a coordinator, you'd rather see the whole field. You'd rather see the defensive formations and everything else going on. But there's mismanagement somewhere in the line of communication, and you want to be able to kind of take that out of the chain of things. That's all.
I think that kind of presence is going to change the game from going where you should be to down to the field.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't change a lot.
Well, and things are different now. When I got to the NFL, there was like still 3-ring binders and somebody's taking a picture from up top, and then all of a sudden the Microsoft Surfaces come out and it's like, hey, you know, you can just watch film on the sideline.
Watch it right there.
Now I feel like you can probably do that. If you're a tablet, if you're Ryan Grubb, you can look at like images pre-snap, post-snap of the defenses, and it's not as big a deal, but you'd rather see it in real time during the drive, where you can call plays and see where the safety rotation was and everything they're trying to do up front.
Reaction time for sure.
I think there's downside, there's upside, and I think that he's going to have to manage that properly. But I trust the fact that they know what needs to be communicated and they can do that. And Nick Sheridan can do whatever else is necessary.
Right. Look, I feel like the big stars show up in the big games, right? And I think that the very first lesson that Nick Saban said he learned about coaching was, you know, he's in high school and his coach is like, I don't care what play you call, get the ball to the guys that make the plays, right? So when I look at this game, to me, I say, hey, Ty Simpson, get the ball to Ryan Williams, get the ball to Jeremy Bernard, and also don't turn the ball over. To me, that's the other thing. Like Ty had done a great job of not turning the ball over. Now all of a sudden we're getting all these strip sacks and interceptions. That to me is the most important thing.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Those defensive linemen from Auburn need to calm down a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't need to see all that.
They got a good defense over there.
Yeah, they do. They do. I'm with you, Mick. I think that, you have sustaining is going to be the key word for me. Can Bama sustain their blocks up front? Can they sustain drives? And then all kind of that circles back to everything you feel. It's, I think Caden Proctor said it best when he said it's going to be an MF to block these guys up front.
Yeah.
Take a little bit extra pride. That extra second, that extra 2 seconds where you can lock a guy up in the run game and in the passing game, stay engaged, stay in their framework, drive them off the ball, whatever it needs to happen. That's what allows a guy like Jam Miller to find a hole or to burst through it. That's what allows a guy like Ty Simpson to step up. And if you can sustain the drives and keep going down the field, you give yourself more opportunity to make those explosives that we all know can win football games, especially the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, as we head to the final segment, I want to remind all of you guys about Mick Nation. That's where we have weekly cash prizes. Look, I didn't name it.
Okay.
It's what it is.
Right. Yeah, sure you did, man.
I like it, man.
And let me
You
tell you
signed off
something.
on it at some point.
All you got to do to be a part of it, Mike, is hit that QR code.
All
We
right.
give away weekly cash prizes. It's free. Some of the swag that you got, people online are saying they want. They'll wear the Hawaiian shirt if you don't want it. They want those hats that are too small for your head. All that stuff, we give them away on Avenue D, Mick Nation each week. So you
could include some Flora-Bama drink cards, but I think you all used them all.
We could include some Flora-Bama
If we
drink
haven't,
cards,
we will soon.
But we gave them all away. All right, final segment of the Bama Tailgate Show right after this.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game. In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
This isn't just a place. It's a pulse and a rhythm where game day is more than a tradition. Heart-pounding yet? It's where the flavors are bold and the portions are generous. Mouth-watering yet? Art, music, and culture paint the city's soul. Creativity flowing yet? So whether you come for the thrill, the taste, the beauty, or the tradition, you'll stay for the Tusca life. Ready to feel it? This is Tuscaloosa. Live the Tusca life.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause Liz wins and get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mesrano.
When you're ready to double down, dive in, drive for a show, and not look back. Roll into Pearl River Resort. From tee times to table games, water slides by day, slots by night. Savor the flavors, feel the fun, win big. Let's roll into Pearl River Resort. Must be 21 or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A night of rock you don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Final segment of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. Hope everybody's had a great Thanksgiving. It's been wonderful for me getting to hang out with my family, including Alexis and Robbie in the house here at the Flora-Bama. Steve Powers from the Flora-Bama. Good to see your family too, Steve.
Buddy, I missed you yesterday for our Thanksgiving celebration.
Yeah.
Here on Thursday. 275 pounds of turkey, 200 pounds of ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, dressing. That's what the Bama provided. And then everybody else who came in, you bring a side dish. So there
Like
was
a potluck.
6-foot tables.
Wow.
All around.
I love it here.
Loaded. And we served just under 900 people
That's
on
crazy.
Thanksgiving here.
And, you know, I've
It's
spent
crazy.
Thanksgiving here many times. I
It's
love
awesome,
it, man.
though, isn't it?
It really is.
That's what I
great,
always
man.
tell everyone. It's like, put your phones down, talk to someone you don't know. That's to me is what the Flora-Bama is about.
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
know who you're sitting next to.
Right.
Could be a guy who played for the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, yeah.
Or not.
I know. Big Poppy. I was here with the Hubers 2 years up until this season. Like their whole family came down
It's
from
awesome.
from Tennessee. I've had so many great times here in this. It's not even just one bar. It's just this whole facility. This is one of the best places on earth to me. I
Well,
love this place.
It is an absolute pleasure to work for John and Cam and Pat. I mean, they're just great people. But you look at this tent, right? You can do tailgate in the tent with football.
Mm-hmm.
On Sunday, we'll have 2 worships on the water, church service here at the Bama, live shows here. It's crazy the amount of things that happen here. So I'm looking forward to next weekend too, where Santa arrives here at the Bama.
Nice.
So,
What else you guys got going on? I know the polar
I
plunge.
still want to talk about Santa for a minute.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. No, I don't want to interrupt Santa.
I mean, it's a big deal. He skydives onto our beach. He skydives.
I think we could get Mick do the. I mean, not to change subject again, but now I'm thinking Mick needs to do the polar plunge.
I'll do it. I broadcast it one time with him.
We need to live stream again that. Oh,
Oh,
buddy.
dude, you're getting in there.
First of the year. There's between 4,000 and 5,000 here last year. Everybody gets in the water at once at noon. And then you come in here for free red beans and rice and beer and hang out, live music. But it is a ton of people.
Yeah,
So the polar bear plunge started 42 years ago.
No way.
42. Pat McClellan came up with that one.
Wow.
42 on that. 42 this year for mullet toss. Got to do the mullet swing golf tournament this year.
Yeah, but
Need to get
I've
you
heard
guys in for
Coker.
that.
I know Coker does it. I'm in on it this year. Ryan, you in? We on the
Yeah,
same team?
let's
As
do
long
it.
as Ryan's on my team, Mike, can you do the golf tournament?
I think I got to work that day.
It's in the middle of
yeah.
the week. It's kind of
Yeah, it's hard for you, but
it's
Ryan's
well
down
worth
here.
it.
I'm down here.
Yeah,
I'm
y'all
in,
are
man.
down here. I'm probably working.
Coker,
Start
obviously,
your
our
day
golf
with a
pro friend.
bushwhacker
Yeah,
on
Falcons
the golf
game or
course.
something.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. We have so much fun. I love having you here. You should come here more, Mick. In fact, if you were to get me a Mick Nation banner,
Where are you going to put it? I'll
You
get
just
you
got to
one.
use the code. You just got to use the promo code
It's
with
going to have its QR code on
I
there.
have to go order my own banner.
I'll get it for you. I'll
Mick
get
won't
it.
even provide
Just
me a
tell me.
banner.
You show me where you want it. I'll get it. I'll get it.
That was
I'll
good.
get it fit. All right,
Good job.
listen. Thank you, Steve. And I know everyone out there wants to be part of Mick
That's good
Nation
stuff.
QR code or
I
go
love
to
you,
Bama
brother.
Tailgate to be a part of that. And it is a big deal. I get it. All right, let's talk about the keys to this game, Alabama and Auburn. Steve, I'll start with you. The keys to the game.
I'm sitting next to 3 football greats and analysts, and you want my opinion
Just
on
what
this
you
game?
think. What do you think? It could be, you could say, I like Bama's uniform better when they're on the road. You could say,
You could be like
this
my
fight
wife.
song's better.
You could be like Patty and just root for whoever's losing because she wants it to be a good
I don't do that.
Feel bad. for
Unless
the-
we're
game.
losing.
She
Yeah,
does.
that's wow. That's
No,
crazy.
Bama's going to win this game. There's no doubt about it. I think everything you have talked about leading up to it, the pressure, how big this game is, what it means to so many people in that team, it's a must win, in my opinion, for them, to obviously make the year. So I think that's it. That's going to be that important to them going into this game. What do you hear in the locker room before this game? What do you hear?
Yeah, it's different.
Is it?
It's different. Yeah, different.
What about you, Ryan? Keys to the game.
Oh, winning at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball for us. Protecting the football for sure, and creating some turnovers on defense. We're gonna need some takeaways in this game to kind of give our offense a shot. That's been a little slow lately, Mick. That red hot offense that I've been high on all year.
I know it's the defense.
Yeah. So I'm cool with that though. back to the old Bama ways, ride our defense to a championship.
I love it. What about you, Mike?
Well, look, man, I apologize that I'm not Jake Coker sitting here because I know that he's talking about Jake a lot.
Wait,
You know what I mean?
No.
But if you want me to go any different angle than what Ryan gave you, you're at the wrong place. He just said it happens in the trenches. Now, I know you're used to Jake Coker getting on here and talking about the spider Y banana and all the passing concepts.
He doesn't even hear you because he's in the woods somewhere. Right?
But it will happen in the trenches, my friend. It will, just like Ryan said, it will happen in the trenches. And he just said, hey, it'd be nice for the defense to get a couple turnovers, kind of muddy the waters a little bit. And on the flip side, if you are Bama, because I played offense, take care of the football.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't give Auburn a chance to muddy the waters and create a turnover margin and create all these things where a pick six can happen just the way it did against Oklahoma just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
If you are the offensive line, keep people away from your quarterback, keep people away from your running back. And if you're one of those guys toting the football, two hands on it, I don't want to see a Ryan Williams across the middle where the tip ball goes to a safety or whatever else, man. Two hands on the pill. And if that happens and you can just play strategic X's and O's playbook football, like I call it, you'll win the game. If you start getting into stuff that's not in the playbook, that's how you lose, where the ball goes back the other way and you have special teams errors and things of that nature.
So
that's where it gets sideways.
If you go into this game knowing there's not going to be turnovers on either side, is it more evenly matched for these two teams?
We win.
No.
If we win or we're
not,
even, right?
No,
Yeah.
it's not even close.
We're a better team, and that's what it comes down to.
We're leaving.
Yeah. Score.
You play playbook football.
Oh, Bama wins it by 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Don't you think? Because you know why? Because that stuff happens in the trenches.
It happens in the trenches.
Right. That's where it happens.
Yeah.
Man.
Ryan, what about you? What about you?
What's that?
Score.
Alabama 42, Auburn 14.
No, one of those games. I would love that.
Buddy.
That would make me really happy.
Yeah, man.
What about you?
What's the over-under on that?
I don't know. I know it's a 6.5. Well, over-under 46.5.
46.
So Ryan's
All
way
right,
over.
what about you?
If you're listening to Ryan, you go over. Now, for me, I think if you can play playbook football, you are up by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. But it never happens if you play playbook football against Auburn down in the Iron Bowl. The point is to make the plays when it's needed. I got Bama by 10. I'll go Bama 27, Auburn 17. They'll throw some craziness out there with the quarterback situation, but Bama's going to get it done in the end.
I think so too. I think this is one of those games where Bama's going to go in there and take care of business. Auburn's they're 5-6 for a reason, and there's no such thing as we're better than 5-6. No, that's your record. Your record is who you are.
That's who you are.
And there's a reason why Alabama's won all these games. I know that they didn't win Oklahoma, but they were the better team. They made mistakes. They went through a gauntlet. You want to play all these big games on Saturday, you're not going undefeated. You want to have all these big-time games, somebody's going to beat you. You might lose 2 or 3 games, but you know what? Alabama is a better team than Auburn. I just don't think Auburn's going to just figure it all out. Oh, they don't have a coach. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be making business decisions on Auburn's team. Alabama's going to be focused. I think it's going to be a good day at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Great.
Steve, any final thoughts? Tell us anything about the Flora-Bama. Anything else before we get out of here?
Just that cardboard cutout of Jake Coker you ordered is going to be here.
We love Jake.
Dude, you said that just as I took a sip of my beer, and I almost lost it all over Mick's equipment. I almost lost my beer on Mick's equipment.
All right, 22 bills.
Don't do that again.
Tell everybody about 22 bills, Ryan.
Oh,
Come on,
dude.
We're running out of time.
Oh.
We're serving all Alabama, especially the Gulf Coast area, man.
He's the guy that did my house. I'm telling you, you want it done right. Ryan's got you.
Hit us up.
All right. Any final thoughts? Where can they find you at?
I got final thoughts. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here at the Flora-Bama. Gating and Grilling coming up next, and the Iron Bowl as well. But we love all of you guys, and roll Tide.
Welcome to Game Day Grub, where Southern flavor meets Saturday football. We're serving up some bold, crowd-pleasing recipes, inspired by this week's big matchup.
I'm Carl Lewis, North Carolina barbecue pitmaster.
I'm Kevin Sport, and I love the South. I love a good tailgate, and I love some football. Okay. From the grills of Tuscaloosa to the smokers in Auburn, hey, we're turning up the heat on Rivalry Weekend, the biggest weekend Thanksgiving tradition in the South. Oh. So what are we cooking today, Pit Boss?
Hoss, today we're doing Thanksgiving tailgate style. We got smoked turkey, peach cobbler, cornbread, and cranberry mayo, brother.
Oh, yeah. Even with rivalries like Alabama and Auburn, everybody can agree on a good plate of food.
You daggone right, brother. Today we're doing a spatchcock turkey, Hoss. Hold that.
Yeah?
Yeah. It looks natural.
Okay, so I noticed you're using those fancy scissors there. What do you call that?
These are shears, meat shears.
Oh.
You can't do this with a knife.
All right, there we go. Okay. Wow, man, look at that.
First coat I'm going to put on is John Boy and Billy chicken rub.
All right.
And I'm also going to go with the John Boy and Billy pork rub.
Oh, you're building flavor.
Yeah.
Yes, we've learned that all year long. I guess there's not too many things in eastern North Carolina y'all don't put on the grill.
We don't even use an oven in this North Carolina house. Now, we got to wrap this bad boy in bacon. This right here, man, keeps all the moisture in there. When this bacon renders down into that bird,
yeah,
there's another layer of flavor, dude.
Ah, gotcha. All right.
Also, I'm going to season the bacon.
That is going to be a masterpiece. A Thanksgiving masterpiece on the grill.
You're opening that lid, I'm going to bring it on.
All right, I will.
Isn't that pretty?
That is one beautiful bird right there. So how hot are you going to cook this bird?
Man, I'm rolling at 350. Going to go about 2.5 hours. Next up, Hoss, is peach cobbler.
One time I told a peach joke. It was a pit. You know, there was a peach band called the Pit Stops.
It's getting worse.
Yeah. I tried to have a relationship with a peach. It was fruitless.
First thing is the peaches.
Peaches?
Is the cranberries.
That's a cool combination.
Yes, sir. You wait, you taste this flavor. Here we're going to go with a little dash of bourbon.
A little dash of bourbon. Yes, sir. Why not?
Just gives it another depth of flavor, man.
All right, what we got here?
This is cake mix.
The cake mix. So you just cover all the way up?
And after this point, you don't mix.
What's next then?
Butter.
Butter.
Everything's buttered with butter.
You know what? Life's so much better with butter.
Now we're
And
going to lay down some pecans. Now you know what we're going to do with it?
what?
We're going to put it on the cook shack, Hoss.
Okay, so you're just timing all that out with the turkey.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, we're getting into the cornbread now. It's thin and crispy buttermilk cornbread.
I'm confident this is going to turn out really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You got your meal, how much?
1.5 cups.
No, Carl, it's the first time I've seen you use a measuring cup this whole season.
When you're baking, you've got to be precise. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, Hoss.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And the buttermilk. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. All right.
I'd have 3 tablespoons of butter.
I love it.
This is the only part I'll sheet on because you can't have too much butter.
I'm with you. So when you get all that stirred up, we're going to do the iron skillet.
You ain't kidding. All right, we're going to take it to the cook shack.
Take it to the shack.
We're going to roll about 350 for about 25 minutes.
Okay. 350, 25.
Yeah. All right, Hoss, it's time for my secret weapon. Cranberry mayo. Calm down. It's all good.
Uh-huh. You like that, don't you?
I love it.
How much mayo there?
I'm going to go about a cup. Made out of that can opener.
Can opener.
Yeah.
Can opener.
Always pay attention, Hoss. It's about a cup of this. Tablespoon of the Dijon mustard.
Dijon.
Tablespoon and a half.
Where did you find this recipe?
Bourbon. Actually, my aunt made this for me.
Really?
Yep. You got a fork over there, Hoss?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got one.
Pass it to me.
There you go. Carl.
Actually, my fist is my secret weapon.
I believe you.
This comes in second.
I'm rubbing off on you. You are. All season. I knew you'd come around.
What do you call a cranberry that's always asking questions?
I don't know what.
Very curious. All right, Kevin, it's been 2.5 hours. We got all the family, all the friends here. It's time to plate it up, and let's enjoy our time with them.
Let's do that.
Isn't it pretty?
It is beautiful.
Well, it's moist, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm feeling right here, man.
Yeah. Tailgate turkey. Look at that, my friend. Love it. That's beautiful. Thanksgiving recipes, they say it best. This isn't just another Saturday. It's the Super Bowl Saturday of the South. Some rivalries fade, but plates like these, they bring everybody together. If you're hungry for more, like, subscribe, follow Gating and Grilling on all your socials. For all your tips and all your tricks to bring your tailgate to a whole new level. We'll see you next time.